Ever wonder what everyone's doing on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America.
They're saving, planning, and budgeting all before dessert.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Before I start, I'd like for all of us to do exercise together. Let's all take a deep breath together. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. You see, the average human takes 20,000 breaths per day. It's important because those 20,000 breaths has a huge implication on your livelihood, your well-being, and the outcomes of your loved ones. The unfortunate circumstance is that those 20,000 breaths either can work for you or against you. And for many communities, they could be working against their lives. My name is Darren Riley. I'm the founder of JustAir, and our vision here at JustAir is to ensure that everybody, every single individual, has access to clean air. And we did this through building the first class and leading platform for air quality data management for communities. Now, the story that I want to share with you all is a story of community, a story of JustAir. But in that story, I want you to hear what it looks like to embrace our problems, the power of our problems, and to support the folks in our community that are solving those issues at hand and what great outcomes we can have. But I'd like to start the showcase with the issue behind our problem and what we're trying to solve. You see, behind every entrepreneur, there's a really big problem, and the air quality problem is massive. Air pollution costs the U.S. around over $100 billion per day. This cost is due to kids missing days at school, people missing days at the workplace, the cost of remediating issues of air pollution, the cost of people being taken from us far too soon and not contributing to their economic well-being and to their community and family members. But the real issue is behind the numbers. It's the personal folks. Folks like myself who developed asthma 6 years ago in Southwest Detroit, which opened my eyes to how the environment impacts our communities and our well-being and health. Understanding what it feels like to gasp on the very thing that we all take for granted. And so what do we understand about why this issue is coming about is because we lack the proper infrastructure to understand what the real issues are at the neighborhood level. Yes, the data on your phone and the air quality data that you see in your weather app is regional. And our focus is what the real issues are on the ground are happening at the local street level, which is why we built JustAir. My background is in software engineering. I have a decade of experience in that from Carnegie Mellon University. I'm surrounded by the best and brightest, amazing team from community organizers, computer scientists, PhDs and masters in environmental science, all come together to build our platform. JustAir is the only platform that integrates all instruments, all sampling instruments into one unified platform so that we can understand what matters most to a community, whether it be NO2 or black carbon from school buses to PM 2.5 from the forest fires. All can be measured in one platform. And we are the one platform that offers real-time, trusted data source in the hands of a community where you can subscribe to monitors, understand what issues are happening in your community, but also empowering stakeholders like government officials, health departments, with a data set that they can do research on and understand how to intervene with those issues. But none of this would be possible without building the quality assurance that our community deserves and the trust in our data practices through the well-being of our platform. Now, what I'm here today to showcase is a story of JustAir within Wayne County region, and the region has the symptoms of asthma throughout the community. And what you see here in this map are just some hotspots around the high prevalence of asthma throughout the Wayne County. And you see it's varying degrees of that. How do we level the playing field, decrease that blue and make it a little bit more less blue, so we can have a more healthy, vibrant community? But first, we have to embrace our problems. A study came out from the Asthma and Allergy Foundation that denoted Detroit is the third worst city to deal with asthma. And now, I know, folks, this is hard to face, but again, the theme of this discussion is to really embrace and face our problems. There's power in facing our problems because then we can solve them, and we can go out and solve them from other places in the world. And like my uncle says, we don't talk about it here in Detroit, we be about it, right? And so what we did is partner with Wayne County. And first, I got to give a huge shout out to amazing partners at Wayne County, from Dr. Abdul Asied, of course, our CEO, Warren Evans, and also the county commissioners all throughout our different districts, to really partner on how do we deploy the first of its kind, 100 monitors throughout the region in the 43 beautiful communities to ensure that we give data in the palms of our communities, but also government stakeholders so we can intervene and really create a healthier future for all. Our process was really humanistic, but also married with our technology as well. We start with planning, working with the community leaders, to deployment, to also data management through our platform. And so I'll walk through briefly with some of those core pillars. Starting with planning. It's my belief in our community, in our vision as a company, that anytime you put an instrument, a device, whether it be a drone, a monitor, a vehicle within a community, you need to first get permission from that community. Understand, what is that device doing? Is it surveilling me? Is it working for me or against me? And be authentic in our approach. So we work with community leaders to dictate where these monitors actually go, whether it be at schools, places of worship, and other opportunities and hotspots, so that communities know that that monitor is actually working for them, and they have less anxiety about the issues or that device in their community. Once we did the planning, we actually worked with communities and paid folks above average wage to actually deploy the monitors throughout the 43 communities. It's a real opportunity to really get people encouraged around their green-collar workforce, and so we're creating jobs in these communities and getting people exposed, from returning citizens to youth involved in STEM. It's really exciting through our platform. And lastly, we did our launch. 100 monitors throughout Wayne County, which you all in this room and everyone watching has access to. Real-time data from our monitors that are sampling in real time. You can download this data, you have access to it, and very transparent communication on the quality assurance of this information. And I know you all are asking, what are we doing with this information? Well, before we answer those questions, we have to also ensure that we're building trust. So through our platform, we're able to ensure that monitors are upkept, that during the cold, make sure we have good cellular connection, make sure our batteries are fixed. But also, when we have to maintain instruments, we communicate that to the public. So when someone walks out the door and click on their monitor, they know that that monitor is trusted, and if that data is faulty, we communicate that issue. And this is the results. Going from just around 7 or 8 reference monitors to 100 monitors, all managed through JustAir, increasing coverage for millions of residents here in Wayne County. And communities are using the codes, using the data in the barbershops and the vessels of communities to share what's going on as information, sharing their experience. So they know better, they do better, and they can protect their health and keep them out of the emergency room. And because of this work, we have scaled. We are now across 6 different states. We've 4x year-over-year growth. We are hiring here in Detroit. We have millions of folks on our platform getting access to real-time data and featured on many publications due to this work. And we're just getting started. When you have infrastructure, you can build things like the first connected air quality inhaler to prevent people from going to the emergency room, to inform policy like fugitive dust law ordinances through our data platform. But most of all, none of this would be possible without you in this room. From folks like Doug Song, inspiring folks to entrepreneurs to stay here in Detroit, belong here in Detroit, build things, from Johnny and Lexa, creating Black Tech Saturdays, where we have a community, Michigan Central, creating density of innovators and community leaders, but also community organizers in our community that are fighting for these issues and trusting us to build this. So my ask is that we build and we trust our power and our problems, and that we work together to solve them. And I would love to connect with any health stakeholders so that we can create the future that our region deserves. Thank you so much.
Ever wonder what everyone's doing on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America.
They're saving, planning, and budgeting all before dessert.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?